Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to the Underground Gospel Show. This is episode 37. We have done this 37 times since the 1st of March in 2021. Basically, this is a safe place. It's a place that you can, there's no trolling. If you want to leave Discord, it'd be great if you guys talk to each other in the Discord channel. Looks like we have a couple of people watching right now. That's really cool. There's no swearing or trolling. If you like what you hear, remember to hit subscribe. You're on, let's see, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And I thank you, Twitch, for all the people that are looking up there. I did get a check today, so that was really nice to get what I got from them. So thank you for sending me the little Twitch tokens. So that was really cool. Go to night-music.com and you can find show times and links. You can find things for garments. I'm wearing a night shirt right now. Actually, I'm gonna change this banner to nightmusic.com, and so that you can write it down if you need to. You can There's contact email, there's live show information, how to support me monthly for a cup of coffee, information about the Discord channel, sponsorship opportunities, and if you would like me to come to your city, your town, your church, or your event, I am available for a very nominal, price, much less than what Jeff Bezos makes. So yeah, anyway, so I am available to come and play for you. And we got some great news going on right now. I'm in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and I have just booked out 3 weekends in July where I'm going in the recording studio and I'm recording some songs. Oh my goodness, this week so far has been kind of a crusher. I went through 120 songs and we picked out about 70, out of which I've narrowed it down to 20 that we're going to cut demos on and probably release 10 of those. And the way I got that number is I did a show with Michael W. Smith. And I'm going to open with a song that he made famous, even though it was written in the 1830s. He In fact, this song is on this album. It's called Our Lord Reigns, and I was the audio engineer that did the CD release party. And it was really funny because as we're setting up for sound check, his piano tech had forgotten his floor panel, the one that opens up the dampeners on the piano. And so and he plays an electric piano, and so he didn't have dampeners. And he was like, "Dude, I can't do this without it." So I said, "Hold on, I might have one in my car." I ran out to my van. I did have one. We plugged it in. And I remember him looking at me going, "Are you a piano player?" And I said, "No, no, no, I'm a guitar player." But Nashville didn't need another guitar player at the time. So I was actually an audio engineer that just happened to have a Yamaha floor dampener in my van. Anyway, people who know my van are laughing right now because of course I would have a Yamaha floor dampener in my van. Doesn't every engineer? Needless to say, but he told a story. He said that when he went into the studio, he had about 200 songs that he had written, and he and the producer he was working with narrowed the songs down to 70 that they were going to cut demos on. And then in the process of cutting the demos, he had flown to England, met with Martin Smith, and decided to do 3 songs from Martin Smith. He decided to do 2 cover songs, and so out of the 70 songs that he demoed, only 5 of them made it on the album. And this is actually one of the cover songs that he did, and it's called Angus Day, and it actually means Lamb of God. It was written, like I said, in the 1830s. So when people are like, "Oh man, you play all these old songs," well, I'm not the only one. Let's face it. If it's good enough for Michael W. Smith, good enough for me. And that's a little fun story. And I listened to a couple more of his songs, and man, what a great songwriter. So anyway, this is called Angus Day. Yes, and the crowd goes wild. We don't actually have a crowd here tonight. It's funny. We've had a couple of times where we've had a few people here. We've had a few people here on the porch and on the backyard, and we don't have anybody tonight, so it's very quiet. I have had a couple of fireworks going off. We're getting ready for the Independence Day. We've just had Juneteenth, which is Independence Day for a lot of the people in the nation, and then we have Independence Day for a lot of other people in the nation who celebrate with fireworks. And so it's really a great time for independence here in the United States right now. Like I said, I'm going to the studio, and this is kind of, I don't tell a lot about my personal life, when I've been doing these shows, but COVID hit, in March of 2019, and I was out on tour. I had met a group. Let's back up a little bit. A lot of you know that I'm part of a church in Los Angeles called Hillsong, not to name drop. But so I'm part of a church in Los Angeles called Hillsong, and they were out on tour. They're worship, Young and Free. They have three touring acts. One of their touring acts, Young and Free, had been out with David Crowder on the Winter Jam tour. They played in Nashville in February, and I got to crew that show. In the meantime, I talked to a couple of the guys, and we got along really well. Well, it turns out that in March, I was going to go up to Louisville and meet the tour manager, and so a bunch of us got in a bus and we went up there, and we were going to crew the show up in Louisville. But when we went out there, I was talking to the tour manager and all that, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't think this is going to work," and I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, we'll find out later." Well, at lunch, that's when the promoter came in and said that the night had been canceled because of the pandemic. And we're like, "What pandemic?" He's like, "Well, they've shut down the United States because of a pandemic." And I'm like, I don't watch a lot of news. I knew nothing about it. Needless to say, I went back to Nashville. The band went up to Chicago, but the tour manager told me, he goes, "We're going to be right behind you." He goes, "I have to make the announcement." So, needless to say, they were right behind us and followed us into Nashville. I rolled over onto another tour and did 3 days on that tour before that tour was canceled, and that's canceled until at least fall of 2022 because you don't do big arena and stadium shows like overnight. It takes a while to book these things and get them going. Um, so needless to say, we kind of dead in the water. So I spent 2 weeks on unemployment and rolled over to a company called Amazon. You've heard of it. It's Jeff Bezos. I make jokes about him all the time. But anyway, so I started working for Jeff Bezos at a company where I was doing 4 hour shifts a day. Not back to back because you have to take a shift off in between. So if you can imagine, 3 shifts with 2 shifts off at 4 hours each. It was hard. And that was from the middle of April until September when they opened up in the area I'm in now. And I came down here, which allowed me to work 10-hour days. And they had what they call 60. So you have 2 hours of voluntary overtime. So I've been working 60s. I had 2 weeks off of only 4 days a week in January, and then 2 days off of 4 days a week in February. And since February, I've been working 6 days a week until this week. And it's been tough because I'm also a screenwriter. I'm also, I'm doing auditions for TV shows, sending in tapes. I'm also doing 37 live streaming shows and a whole bunch of other shows. So we've been really, really, really busy. Um, Also, I have a class that I've been taking since the beginning of the year. So once a week, we just finished the 22nd week of going to that class, and that's once a week, plus a follow up day to do the homework. And then 5 weeks ago, I started another class. So I'm now taking 2 classes that both have follow up days. And so I'm taking 2 classes, and these classes are not cheap. They're a couple of, they're a lot. I mean, they're thousands and thousands of dollars. And I just signed up for another class that starts in July 17th, and it's every Saturday. So, bottom line is, next week will be my last full time week at Amazon. Nobody knows this yet. If anybody watches this on YouTube, well, they'll know it now. But it's my last full time week, and I'm cutting down to 2 days a week, what I call travel days, which are Sundays and Wednesdays. And then I'll be working on screenplays and acting on Tuesdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, and then working on music. I have a recording studio booked on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all throughout July. And then in the middle of August, all that stops and we release, and we just see what happens next. And I want to share this one thing, and I know I'm supposed to be playing music, so actually I'm going to play a song. This is one of the songs that might be on the new album. I really like it. It's an older song, but not as old as most of the music I play. See. Yes, that was called Hungry. It's been recorded by a lot of different people. And what I wanted to read was a little passage that had spoken to me this week as I was doing a little Bible study. There's a passage in Jeremiah, and it's really famous, and everybody has heard it like a billion times. I know you all have. It's Jeremiah 29. But I'm going to read something that I think a lot of people don't know. Okay, and that is that it says, I have it all planned out. Now I'm reading out of the Message version, but it says, I have it all planned out. Plans to take care of you, not abandon you. Plans for your future and for the things you've hoped for. And when you call on me and when you come to me and pray to me, I'll listen. Now, The reason why this spoke to me was because I hear of so many people that go, "Well, what's the plan for my life? And what's the plan? Does God have a plan for me? Does he, is he?" And the truth of the matter is, as it says here, he doesn't. Well, yeah, but he said that, I know the plans I have for your life. And it's like, right. It's plural. The plans he has for your life, and I think that's what most people had missed. And I know I missed it because I was like, well, what's the plan for my life? Well, there really isn't a plan. It's like there's just all these plans that God has for each season of your life, each stage of your life, each step of your life. And if you call on him and seek him, you will find him, and he will find you, and he'll listen, and he will lay things out for you because he has the plans for your life. So I think that was kind of cool. uh Speaking of running to the Lord, Hillsong toured the United States back in the 1980s. That's the first I've ever heard of them, to tell you the truth. And I was working with a church in San Diego, in northern San Diego, in Carlsbad, and I think were we in Carlsbad? I think we were in Carlsbad at the time, and it was called Daybreak. And shout out to Daybreak. Hey, how they do it? DB, yeah. So anyway, but Daybreak Church, they hosted Hillsong. And so it was really cool. I did not know who they were, but Darlene Check and Bobby and Brian Houston and all the Morgan Rubin and just all these great songwriters who I had no idea who they were, but I knew their songs. And it's just such a blessing that here it is, literally 40, 35 years later, I'm part of it, and it's kind of it's pretty awesome actually. But this was a song called "Short Shout to the Lord," and I guess you really don't have to shout because or God said, "If you call on me, I'll be there. I'll listen." In fact, let me read that one little part again. And I know there's only a couple people on right now, but it says, "When you call on me and when you come and pray to me, I'll listen. If you come looking for me, you'll find me. Yes, when you get serious about finding me and want it more than anything else, I'll make sure you won't be disappointment. I'll turn things around for you. I'll bring you back from the countries until I drove you to. God's agree. I'll bring you home to the places from which I sent you off to exile." And the funny thing is, I'm planning on going back to Los Angeles, which is where I came from, to come to Nashville. And so it's that whole passage is speaking to me in a very unique way because he's like, I'm bringing you home to where I sent you from. And anyway, so this is called Shout to the Lord. Shout to the Lord. Oh my goodness. It is so good to be here. It really is. It's a beautiful night in Tennessee. Luckily, we did not get the big old cicada thingies. There's these big old bugs about this big that are totally blind, but they have all these red dots on their face, so it looks like they have eyes. And they fly up every night and they grow into new skin. And so they leave their old skin just like everywhere. They're kind of like locusts. And I think this was the 14-year or the 17-year cycle. Last time they came out, I was actually on the set of Hannah Montana in Greenbrier, Texas, which is or Greenbrier, Tennessee, which is way north of Nashville. It's over by well, it's in Greenbrier. I have no idea where it is. Somebody's farm that we were at, and have lots of stories about that show. That was pretty fun, pretty amazing. Anyway, so was I going to do something new or am I going to do something old? I'm going to do something upbeat and old because I love this song. It's written by Saint Francis of Assisi. He wrote it like back in um oh my gosh, he wrote this song back in like 820 or something, 870 I think it was. But anyway, this is called All Creatures of Our God and King. Get a little upbeat here. Yes, all creatures of our God and King. I'm having fun. I spent all day in the recording studio picking out songs. Was that me? Was that Critter? I don't know what that was. Anyway, that was interesting. No fireworks going off. We have no marching bands. We have no weather. It's still light out here, you guys. I feel like I'm in Canada right now because it's still, light and it's almost time to end the show. We got like, 2 more minutes and the show's over. But I'm going to do one song that's probably going to take longer than that. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Remember to go to nightmusic.com. Remember to order t-shirts. You can get these really cool shirts. So I wore this one here. And on the back of it, it talks about the gospel music show. It's actually a flyer for it. I wonder if I can turn around and let you see this. Like, talk about something I've never done before. So if you could see that, that's actually advertisement. Uh-oh. Oh, that's what that was. That was my water. Okay, that shouldn't be there. That's probably not going to be good for cables. Oh well. At least it's not like Africa where we had open bare metal wiring and children barefoot running around. Yeah, it God, God just saves. Jesus absolutely saves. I mean, that bottom line is God saves. Here's a song. I'm going to end it out with a little slower song, and this is it's just beautiful when I hear it from other people. I'm going to do my best. Now my vision. Well, y'all, that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us at the Underground Gospel Show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed all the new music and some of the new stories. And thank you, all the new listeners that we have. Thank you. I love it when people come up to me at the place where I work and go, "Man, I saw your show. I saw it on Facebook or I saw it on YouTube." A lot of people are watching it on YouTube. And I am getting things from Twitch. So thank you out there on Twitch. You're watching it. Remember to smash down that subscribe button if you have a like button. And if you have a notify button, hit the notify button. That'll let you know that I have another show coming up. And I have people in Texas and Georgia and just all over the country that are tuning in now. People in California and uh, gosh, just thank you so much. It's such a blessing to be able to play for you. And it's really funny knowing the fact that literally I'm playing for hundreds of people over the course of time, even though right now there's nobody but me on this back patio. But I know you're out there on the interwebs. So God bless you. We hope that God has plans for you, plural, to prosper you and not to harm you. Because you know what? He's a good, loving God. And I don't know if you know this, but Jesus is the Savior. And I just hope you understand what it is He's saving you from. So God bless you. Have a wonderful night. We're going to roll credits as soon as I get on the right square, which that wasn't. And we just thank you so much for being here. Good night. That didn't work. Here we go.